Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz,
I'm Chris.
I'm Scott.
and we're keeping you in the loop of the guitar community. This episode's brought to you by StringJoy, not breaking confidentiality agreements since 2014. Like some brands, but I mean, honestly, I'm kind of glad they broke it because, like, now there's like hope.
I mean, there was always hope. I mean, we always kind of was like,
okay, really quick, Scott, why don't you tell everyone what we are referencing?
well, I forgot what the brand of it was. It Blacksmith Strings.
Sounds right.
Leaked.
There's a bird
Possibly leaked that Powerades PRS will be coming out with an SE version of the Silver Sky.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
and everyone's speculating on like trying to convert metric measurements that are shown on it into like imperial to be like, oh, does it have the right string radius? Does it have this? Does it have this? So. Anyway,
yeah. Well, they
guess who keeps their word? StringJoy.
StringJoy does. They don't snitch. Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
And they make their own stitches in-house too. that's how they're able to pay their employees so well. They save money without. You don't have to go to the hospital. You just go down to the low E strings and get yourself stitched up. Don't do that. That's how you get tetanus. That's really bad. StringJoy, not a medical provider since 2014.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like, yeah, go check out StringJoy. Go to stringjoy.com. If in case you pull a bend and break a string during a bend, you know, you can get in a lot of trouble with that. So always keep some backed up.
You know, I'm starting to think when I said I pulled a bend yesterday when I broke a string, I don't think I broke a string. I think I just pulled it out of the locking tuner.
Oh,
Nice.
Because it was like right at the tuner. But,
get to the tuner.
But when I undid the locking mechanism, I didn't find like that like, you know, 1/4 inch shard of string left over.
Yeah.
So maybe I just pulled it out. Actually, my tree string was never staying in tune on my PRS already.
My dog is snuggling with the instructions on my shower head. What is wrong with you, Kylo?
That's weird. That's weird.
That is a very weird combo.
He's really upset because I'm not letting him on the new couch. So he destroyed a toy in protest, I believe. So I guess we can move on to what's new. I'll go first. I never go first. Diaz got himself in a new apartment.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm adulting and stuff.
You're an adult again.
I think what's more important is Diaz got himself a laptop and a stationary microphone, so we don't have to listen to you go to the bathroom again like we did last week.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't going to the bathroom a whole lot, okay? Back off.
It was only just a little bit.
It was just a little bit.
I mean, he can't say. I intentionally phrased it that way because he's like, "Oh, I didn't go to the bathroom. You were washing your hands. Like you were clearly in a bathroom."
Well, it's It's not like I was in there like dropping a deuce. like yeah, that looks great. I'm like Tony the Tiger on these things.
I mean, you already make dad noises on the episode all the time. What do we know?
Yeah. Before we even started the episode, because I just got set. Like I'm on a laptop on my dining room table that has no chairs. So I've got my computer desk chair because I don't have a computer desk sitting on my dining room table. And Scott's like, do you got the windsock for your mic? You breathing heavy.
Yeah, you just got excited.
I am excited because I actually have a computer that didn't take 17 years to boot up.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice.
It's an older MacBook Air, but I mean it's decent. You know, it does what I need it to do. I just need to be able to run GarageBand and record the podcast.
Yeah, the only downside is the camera on it works.
Yeah, now you guys can actually see me. I don't shut it off. Well, hey, but at least I have internet that's good enough where I can keep the camera on.
This is true too.
Am I lagging? Am I roboting?
You've got the Facebook beauty filter on pretty hard right now, where it's just pixelating like crazy for me. But
okay, well, there. Fine, I'll turn it off. Put your face on it. Thank you. Everyone
put
put their
your face away.
faces away.
I just love that none of our profile pictures actually look like us anymore.
Yeah, because we've gotten older and fatter.
I'm thinner.
Scott-
I'm actually
And more
thinner than
human.
my profile picture in this one.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Chris does not look like a minion again anymore.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure. Anywho, I also have my Bliss Factory being delivered to my old address today.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm debating whether I drive the 30 minutes there to pick it up and 30 minutes back.
Yes.
But I can get it tomorrow, and I'll be like 5 minutes from there.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm probably not even gonna plug it in today, so there's no point.
Do you give your kid a heads up? Just like, hey, hide this.
Well, I'm gonna wait for it to get delivered, and I'm gonna text the kid that I trust the most. I'm like, hey, go put this in the garage. Or like,
P.S. You're my favorite.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna say, AKA, you're my favorite.
yeah, it's like P.S. You can have all the tacos you want next time you come over. So, well, enough
Well,
about
with that, Chris, what's new with you?
Yeah, enough about me.
I think the only thing I've got new is one of our Patreons, Jason Fuzzmonger, sent me a package with a Boss SD1, and I'm still not sure what model it is, but it's just a Guitar Fetish Tele bridge pickup.
Nice.
That I'm going to be putting in my first electric guitar that I ever owned, just because I'm not liking the humbuckers that are in it. So
I still have not owned an SD1. I've played them and I like them, but I've not owned one.
you should.
I'm just not a tube screamer guy.
Well, the SD1, I mean, granted, it is a tube screamer, but there's something about it that has its like slightly own voicing. It's not just total mid bump, you know?
Right.
And that's the thing.
I mean, it's just part of the bonsai. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
for a while there, I was like, all right, I'll just buy a GHS bonsai, and that will just like, I'll go through all the tube screamers, see if I actually like any of them.
Yeah, that's like the
but-
Mufaletta. Like it's that honestly is such a great concept. Because the Palisades is another one.
Yeah.
Anything that gives you like multiple voicings is absolutely a great pedal.
Yeah. Just didn't settle on any of them.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
I need
Ooh.
to see where the King of Tone list is.
Probably exactly where it was last week.
Well, you know what? We're gonna February 20th. Yeah, same thing. Oh wait, no, that's today's date. They're on August 1st.
It's
that where
March 9 today, buddy.
Okay, so they have not updated it. Okay, whatever.
I mean, they only update that list like every couple of weeks.
Well, that's why I check it when we record, because I remember.
Okay, then.
And we record every week, and so that way I'm not disappointed throughout the week all the time, you know? Whatever.
The only time you're
done.
disappointed during the week is when we're recording.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, you guys are like, thanks. This is so great.
I'm not
Okay.
mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed. That's 100% it. All right. So, Chris, nothing great new besides, well, you had great new stuff. Sorry, that was kind of like, wow, throw it.
This is
Whatever.
it. This is the. It's
Just
he's
a
not
$30
actually mad
boss
at you. This is just about the King of Tone list, Chris. It's not about you.
Yeah, don't take this personally. All right, speaking of not taking things personally, Scott, what the hell did you get?
Well, I did get a care package from Short this weekend, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's not my dog. Not my dog. He's being good.
Yeah,
Not mine.
mine's putting himself in timeout now. He knows what he did.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, periodically, I being in a quote unquote industry professional, I go to industry events and things like that. And I went to one, and Shure sent me a care package, some fun
Yeah.
toys.
I went there too.
Yeah, Diaz claims he was there. I don't recall that, but you know.
Hey, let me pull up Photoshop real quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this thing happen.
Yeah. I mean, usually it's like a T-shirt or something like that, and they're always trying to like sling out like their earbuds, but this time they like, wow, they went all out. So I got an MV5, which is like sort of the entry level like desktop microphone from them. I'm giving that to one of my coworkers. I did a demo in our little group and on my YouTube channel. of just like comparing that with like the MV7, which is the one that we all really got excited about last year. And that versus like my SM7, which you're hearing me on right now. Honestly, like if I was a business kind of just setting up some conference rooms and stuff like that, like my company has a number of like, it's just a computer. There's enough room for 2 people in the room. It's just like a phone booth kind of a thing. And a lot of them have like those Logitech camera things on the top of it that has built-in mic, and they sound like trash because I hope Logitech mics start getting better now that they're owned by they own Blue microphones. And that merger happened, I don't know, a year or 2 or 3 ago. So hopefully some new products start hitting at some point here. Which I need to call my friend Hillary over at Blue and see if they actually did that. I went to a friend of mine that I went to college with is now their marketing manager. So
Nice.
yeah. So they sent me the MB5, which I liked. They sent me a pair of their I'm forgetting the name of it, something 50 over-ear wireless headphones, which are awesome. So I've been playing with those a lot, and that's been a lot of fun. What else did they send me? I got a mug. I got
Yay, mugs.
I think they sent me mulling spices. I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
What is a mulling spice?
I've had
You can
mulled
put it
wine
in
before.
wine.
Yeah, it's like basically you boil red wine, or you heat up red wine with spices in it.
Oh, hey guys! So we've got an opportunity really quick. I just want to point out now that they've made themselves known. There is a bowling team that practices above my apartment. We can sponsor them for $10 a month. I believe they have a Patreon.
Are they going to get patches made to go on their jerseys, or do they not have jerseys?
Do you remember that old Disney movie Alley Cat Strike
Yep,
I think so.
with Kaylee Cuoco?
she was in that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was digging on her way before Big Bang Theory.
Well, she was on 8 Simple Rules, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I've been watching her show on HBO. The flight attendant or whatever. It's actually pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I've been watching the miniseries about the Mormons killing each other over books.
Oh yeah, I got a commercial for that on Netflix the other day.
It's pretty interesting if you're into documentaries. It's very, very neat. So it's kind of crazy.
I think we should have added a "What's new" in our Netflix queue.
That would be a
segment
great.
to the
That would
show
actually
a
be
while
a
ago.
great one. Yeah, that would actually. What's new? What have you been watching? I've been binge watching Schitt's Creek.
I enjoyed that show.
Well,
Yeah,
It
my
took me
ex-
a while though to like get the feel for it, but I enjoy it.
my ex was like, "Oh no, it's great. You should watch it." And I was like, "No, no, no." And now that we're split, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch it."
Well,
That'll show her. No, I'm just kidding. That's, hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
Guaranteed.
see what he's doing nowadays.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna keep tabs on him. I'm gonna listen to his podcast.
You've been hate listening to the Effects Loop podcast.
Yeah, that's it. just shoot me a text if you really did listen to this because it'll be hilarious. All right. Okay. Scott, were you done since I derailed that?
Yeah, I think that's new.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I finally
All
got
right,
the
so-
parts, and I'm finally done fixing all those pedals you sent me. So
Yeah.
now I
So
got
throw-
now I actually have to
throw
play
that out
them, and now I got to play them and see if I actually am keeping them, selling them. What the heck I'm doing with all of them.
No,
So it's
yeah,
just
you just had to throw that out there, didn't you? Diaz doesn't know how to ship. No, I really think that was a USPS thing. I think they went a little rough on the package.
That's usually how it goes.
And the
They're
switches.
never
are
gentle.
yeah. And the switches are small switches.
I mean, it was a pretty like it was multiple pedals having the same issue. So
I just broke all the switches before I sent them. I was upset. Leave me alone, okay.
well, there was a lot of dust related to that was kind of dank smelling all over all these that I had to clean up. So
Dank smelling dust?
mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
How dank are we talking? Are we talking about like Robert Keeley dank?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know why Most of those weren't around that. I don't usually smoke around the stuff. Huh. Anywho, let's move on and stop showing how bad Diaz is. Let's talk about the first thing.
Unfortunately, we're not going to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I remember that
All
time.
right. Well, Sikagnani, I don't know how to pronounce that. They're bringing Sexy back with their Sexy Boost 2. Is that a tube in it?
It's got a tube in it.
Neat.
Yeah, they lost me.
You know what my first thought is when I saw this pedal? It looks like Mad Professor made it.
Yeah, it does. Especially with,
yeah.
So the wings, and then like does Mad Professor do the design around the knobs there like that?
I couldn't tell you, but the wings was my first thing.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a Mad Professor pedal, or is this like them trying to like rip off the brand? But,
I don't know. How long has this brand been around?
I mean, it's the second Sexy Boost, so
No, that doesn't mean
long
shit.
enough to have one.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only website is through a distribution company, so it's that is expensive.
How much is it?
$279.
No,
yeah.
it's Italian made.
Isn't
Man.
the tube screamer with the little nano tube? That's only like $250, right?
I can't remember.
Even that's overpriced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think tubes and pedals is really just a bad gimmick.
Well, so a lot of them don't run them hot enough to actually get tube clipping.
Yeah.
So they're just like
They
They're
run them
just
hot
there.
enough to glow.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the power circuit. You don't even have to run the signal to get them glowing. They can just be there as an LED light of like, hey, you're running power. But yeah, it's just, or is it like some put like an LED behind the tube so it glows, so it looks like it's working.
That.
Yeah, not great. I mean, there was another $200 boost revision that came out like last week, and we're not covering it because we don't cover that company. But
Wait, what?
yeah, remember how we don't cover that one company that makes a giant boost pedal that is just a boost pedal, and like everyone seems to buy it.
And they came out with a V2 that's a little
came out-
smaller, but
yeah.
it's...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
So it's like meh on all that. Oh crap. Nothing. Sorry, I'm watching a stock ticker. Let's just moving on. New pedal. Boost pedal, dumb. It has this has EQ shaping. That's about it. That's all I got. And Diaz is running out and doing something. So let's move on. Electro Harmonics has released the 15-watt pedal board amplifier called the Howitzer.
I'm actually mildly tempted on this.
Yeah, so I mean, what's interesting here is we've seen just a litany of these, like pedal board, Class D amplifier kind of things. But this one actually has an EQ and a gain circuit on it, so it's actually more like a proper amp.
Yeah, and it's still got the effects loop to where you can just run, I don't know, your stomp into it and just use it as a power amp.
That's pretty cool. So 15 watts, is that the sweet spot? I mean, we have like 40-watt ones, we have 50-watt ones. It's been all over the place. I'm kind of wondering, like, what is the right size for one of these kind of things in terms of power?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're shooting towards the like gigging crowd, I feel like the 40 is probably the sweet spot, but that's also a lot because doesn't the EHX has the 44 Magnum? That's
The small power amp?
yes.
Yep.
I'm on their website, so I'm trying to find it. Because I think it's 40. Yeah, 44 watts. So, because this is a solid state, so it really doesn't get that loud to begin with. But if you're trying to mic it, but who knows what people do.
Okay, Chris, you just slipped one of the dumb things that guitar players believe.
Oh no.
That solid state
tubes
watts
aren't,
and tube watts equal loudness, and those aren't the same
Oh
things.
yes.
You remember, we're catering to the Gear Talk community.
Oh, that's right. Gatekeep.
You said gatekeep?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think he said?
I'm not saying what I thought he said.
I think I know.
I do too.
Yeah.
Grape keep.
It's great. No,
What kind of keeping is it? It's great.
So the thing to remember is clean. The reason tube amps are louder than solid state amps of the same wattage is because they're
better.
No, because it's a clean wattage rating, and you never run a tube amp clean. You're always running it up and beyond. And so when you're actually like running like a 30 watt amp, you're actually running, or an AC30 is a 30 watt amp, right? But you're actually running like 40, 50 watts out of it. But it's breaking up. So that's why you need higher. That's why you need two speakers with higher than 15 watt rating on them. That's what that's about.
Okay.
Anyway, that's been Science Corner with Scott.
Did you know if you take
need that
vinegar and baking soda and put it in an old film container, it explodes?
Did you know you don't need the film container for that?
Did you know that if you put liquid paper on a bee, it'll die?
How do you know this?
Science.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, do we see a price tag on this Howitzer thingy?
127.80.
It's not bad.
No. They're always very affordable.
And I think I've seen somewhere that you can run this off of an actual like brick power supply.
Well, it's
as long as you got like 1 amp coming out of it.
It's 24 watts to, or 24 volts too.
Kyle, quit playing with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
24 volts at 1 amp is really hard to get out of a lot of power supplies. I don't know which ones could do that, but chances are you're using the courtesy outlet.
I mean, I just think it's so awesome having a power amp in a pedal form, like just a pedal size, and it's.
Have you really seen anybody really adopt to these yet? I mean, I'm from
the 44 I've seen quite a bit in the. I mean, it's great for people with like iridiums and stomps.
Yeah, because that just seems like something I'd keep in like my gig bag or something. It wouldn't
I would
necessarily have on my board.
I mean, if I was like in the situation where I run direct, I would keep one on me at all times, because you never know whenever you might show up to a gig and you're not running direct, they want you to run through an amp or something. You could just, use this, and you could already have it set up and dialed in to keep your tone as close to what you have manufactured for direct as possible. I mean, I don't know. I think that these are fantastic ideas, and the price on them is so great. I really don't know why these are not used more often. I mean, $127 to keep you completely set up. I mean, this would be great for me whenever I wanted to like run stereo, because I've only got one powered speaker, but I've got plenty of cabs. Whenever I'm at home, I want to run stereo and have a little bit of fun. This would be great for it.
That's true.
See, I don't own a cab. Like of all the gear that I'm like swimming in, I don't have any cabs unless I disconnect the speakers in the combo amps I have.
Right. Yeah, I've got 2 dedicated cabs. I got 2 2x12s. Yeah, and then everything else is combos that can be converted. But I've got 2 2x12s that are cabs, and then a 2x12. Sorry, then a 2x12 powered speaker. So if I really wanted to, I could get a couple of these, run wet, dry, wet at my house, and hang out with my Robert Keeley pepper grinder and have some fun. Do some Incubus sounds. All right. Anywho, I'm getting distracted. I'm coming up with a plan in my head that doesn't need to happen. All right, moving on. Solid Gold Effects. Solid Gold Effects releases another fuzz pedal. So it's a gated muff style fuzz. It's got sliders on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has sliders. You should like this.
I do. I don't
You
like the
didn't
color
say
scheme
what the
that
name
much.
of it was.
I actually like it.
The Imperial Mark II.
There you go.
Oh, it kind of has. It reminds me kind of like a Death Star kind of graphic, like an old school.
Yeah, it
That's
does kind of have that
where
like
my mind went.
that old computer kind of a vibe. Yeah, so this is somewhat based on the Gen Electronics or Gen Electronica Jumbo. I think Fuzz was the name of it, which was a spin on the HX Big Muff back in the Ram's Head era. This is modded a bit though, so it's a silicon instead of a germanium transistors. The gate is changed a little bit. Yeah, some of those kind of things. I dig it.
Yeah,
Is it a standard size pedal or is it actually a little big?
looks a little bigger.
Yeah. I think the sliders could be a lot of fun just because they're big and you can mess with them with your feet.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Though, I mean, I don't know about this one. I mean, the Gen's voiced a little bit different, so I think they said it has a little bit different of a mid-range kind of a presence in it. But, I mean, the tone knob on a Big Muff doesn't do much, so I just kind of be curious what kind of messing with that on the fly would go.
Yeah.
But $200, Canadian-made pedal, decent fuzz, slider controls. I don't think this is that outrageous of an ask.
No, not at all.
So, and I mean, I have solid gold fuzzes. They're fantastic. So, I think these will do well. I think people will like them.
You've got the Tone Mob one, don't you? The model 001?
He made the Tone Mob one, and he also did the If 6 Was 9, which is a
that's
fuzz
right.
face.
That's a fuzz face. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
How do you like that one?
that's my number one fuzz. Well, I mean, I've got my I'm trying to see if I can love the Bliss Factory as my all.
Yeah.
Not just
Well,
it gets crazy fuzz, which I'm still having a little trouble kind of getting a little more tame stuff out of it. But
well, that's the thing. I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's a fuzz face that's already maxed out, pretty much, right?
yeah, and I mean, I usually close to max out a fuzz face already. You know, the
fuzz should be turned up all the way.
Generally, or just a hint of trim.
Oh well, no. I don't. So I don't see. That's the thing. I'm weird about my fuzz because I like my fuzz closer to a distortion where it's not super thick and a whole lot of low end.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it really just kind of depends. That's why I'm really excited about getting the Bliss Factory because that's been my hardest problem with getting a fuzz on my board is because like I love the Tysco fuzz. It's an octave and it gets that Velcro ripping like craziness, and then I love our Bite My Shiny Metal Ass that we got from Electromotive.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I crank that one. Pretty much all my knobs are maxed on that one.
Yeah, that's a tone bender, right?
Yeah, and that's like I've got the Mark III from Love Pedal. We both got the same one, and that's another one that I usually max out completely. But like, it's because I want these different sounds for different parts, and that's why I'm really excited about the Bliss Factory being able to run it MIDI or do a fave switch and be able to have all like the different sounds that I want, like in one pedal. But fuzz face is the best fuzz, so that's just there's no arguing that.
I mean, that's my kind of ideal thing, and then usually it's the variants of it, or people be like, oh yeah, I took a fuzz face and I did this with it. And I'm like, oh, I really like that still. But
I mean, if it's good enough for Eric Johnson, it's good enough for me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I think my standards are lower than Eric Johnson since I'm not putting batteries in the freezer.
Or what you can do is you can get the Benson. I played that one, the Germanium Fuzz.
Yeah, my buddy Ian has one. But he had a broken knob on it, so he's been waiting to get it.
Oh
repair.
yeah, my buddy Andrew, he has one, and it's really cool. I honestly, I'm a real big sucker for like gimmicks on a pedal,
Mhm.
as long as it's not a showing of a tube. But it's got the like it'll tell you when it's heating up. It shows you like when it's heating up.
Does it go? He's heating up.
On that, I don't get that reference.
That's when you make 2 baskets in a row on NBA Jam, and then you'll go on fire.
The only basketball game I ever played was Charles Barkley's "Shut Up and Jam" on Sega Genesis.
But you never played NBA Jams?
No,
That's like the Sega Genesis game.
no. Charles Barkley's "Shut Up and Jam" was way better.
All right.
What do you really want to argue about that? I mean,
No.
You're like literally. I do not want to put any more time towards this. Let's move forward.
I'm just like, this is one of those moments where someone's like, oh, I prefer the bag cereal, and I just go okay, and you just move on.
Is there a difference between bag cereal and cereal that comes in a bag that's stored in a box?
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least we can agree on that. Speaking of things that don't matter that much, so the Boss HM2 Waza craft just got released, which I believe like this is gonna be one of those things where everyone
It has not been
begs
released.
for it. Well, did I say it was released? I meant
Yes.
like
It's being teased.
it's the first look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the announcement. Sorry, it's been announced.
They announced they're going to be working on it, or they at least like confirmed it.
Is this photoshopped or is this real?
No, this is real. They're showing prototypes of it.
Yeah, silver knob, which is that's one of I love the silver knob. But this is honestly, I think it's gonna be one of those things where everyone's begged for it, and it's gonna come out, and everyone's gonna be like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, the Boss has like had a bad run with that, in my opinion, where they give everyone what they want, and then it just dies.
Well, so here's where I'm getting nervous with this one. Is historically, the fun part of Waza was it was the modded thing.
Right.
So it wasn't just like, hey, it's a reissue. It was like hey, here's the Keeley mods already baked in, or here's this baked in. This has nothing on it that makes it seem like it's different other than cosmetic.
Well, what about so the DM2? What was modded about that?
Was that actually a Waza?
Yeah,
Wait, which one?
DM2W.
Was it
delay.
just the fact that they was it just a vintage reissue? Because like because the Dimension was like a reissue as well, with like it wasn't really like modded.
Well,
So-
I thought that's what I was saying. The Waza was like modded.
well, that's my image.
Did someone
of-
have an owl in their house? What
That
is going on?
It's my cat has asthma.
Woo! Gosh, I can talk to the turkey. That's at my neighbor's. No joke. Like, my kids think it's hilarious. I can get the turkey to talk. I'm gonna have to put that up on our Facebook or something.
Do you guys ever see the old SNL skit of Mark Wahlberg talks to animals?
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh.
That's just how I imagine Diaz talking to a turkey.
No, I need to go find this.
Yeah, but I just hoot like an owl, and it'll go like, and I'll go hoo. That's the conversation. Be right back.
Oh my goodness.
What did I get myself into with you two?
I don't know.
Oh God. we have Ace Ventura's Home for Sick Animals over with Chris, and then just the crazy world of Diaz just getting stoned and talking to turkeys.
Fiona, you sweet child.
So anyway, yeah, HM2 is coming. I think it will do okay, but I don't think it's going to do great, because I think the HM2. But I don't know. I mean, there's so much love for like the vintage Boss stuff.
Yeah.
That part of like I'm just not on that train. With the way some people are, I don't have the nostalgia for Boss effects the way people do. So
I want them to do a Waza phaser.
where they just combine a bunch of the different phaser circuits into one. Like
they do.
did?
They do the 1R, the 2, and the 3 in one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I went for the Bubbletron, was it gave me the stepped and the regular phasing plus a filter all in one package.
Yeah, or you can always check out the phaser that Electromotive makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, are we going to move on to the next thing? Oh, and by the way, Chris, that cat is killing me.
You're the one who got up and left. We're waiting for you.
I had to check on my pizza.
It's 10 in the morning, people, just so you know. It's 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
It is 11:19 in the morning where Diaz lives.
It's 9 in the morning. Why am I even awake right now?
Are they
This
pizza
is
bagels?
time zone.
It's pizza in the morning, pizza at the evening, pizza at supper time.
When pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. Sorry, that commercial came on way too much when I was a kid. Funny thing, can't stand bagel bites.
Speaking of things
Chris,
you can't
the cat. I can't stand the cat, Chris. He's killing me.
Baby girl. I'm sorry. Oh,
Diaz is a horrible person who can't handle it.
Don't look at me like that.
Oh my gosh, I hurt the cat's feelings.
I'm making those noises, Diaz.
Yeah, she's no, she is a little hurt. Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna take a picture of this and we'll put it in the group chat. So if you want to see it, join the Patreon.
Speaking of a little hurt, I'm a little hurt by Joe Bonamassa putting out another damn pedal after he wanted to insult pedals. I think it's hilarious. If he can put his name on it and sell it and make money off of it, he'll do it. Joe Bonamassa is the Kiss of the blues world.
I was gonna say, what other guitarist does that?
Well, the entire band Kiss does that. Slash will put his name on almost anything. Eddie Van Halen.
Joe Bonamassa and
do a
Slash are like the we have way too many signatures. We don't need any more, but oh well.
Or the fact that Tom Morello slapped his little design on a normal Dunlop Crybaby and charged a premium for it.
To have
And then wants to
yeah, to have a Soviet star painted on it.
and just to like say how much he hates capitalism whenever he benefits from it greatly. Anywho,
Diaz, don't you get it? He's ironically benefiting from capitalism. It's art.
oh yeah, did you guys see that? It turns out Tom Morello is not white.
I saw that.
That was a news break this week. It was really funny because I had someone actually send it to me via text, and then it shows up in our group chat. Someone pretty much like said, he talks about Tom Morello's like white privilege, and he's like, I'm not white, which is true. He is not white. You can, I mean, oh
Yeah, he
my
should
God.
just. I mean, if he was so white, he should try to join the royal family and see how things go.
Oh,
Timely reference.
pure bloods only around here.
I was watching that interview with Oprah last night because a girl was talking about it.
There's a small town in Kentucky where pretty much they've never left, so everyone's like just been inbreeding
Oh, Lord.
for generations, and they're pretty much equivalent to the royal family of the United States. That's all I'm saying. And they're worried about pure blood. Okay, anywho, so let's talk about this pedal for as minimal as possible.
We started talking about Joe Bonamassa having too many signature pedals, and we went into white supremacy. I love this, guys. Good job.
Wait.
Good job.
Who said anything about white supremacy?
Pure
well, I mean, I
Bloods.
guess that's a show, isn't it? No, that's True Bloods.
Yep.
All right. I want to point out also I hung a TV up on a wall this week and it didn't fall. That was great.
You hit
Yeah.
a stud when you did that, right?
I am
Sure.
a stud.
So hitting your thumb does not count.
No, I totally got a stud finder and made sure that everything was through a stud.
Yeah, you
No,
want at least
it-
you want one, at least one when you're doing a TV.
No.
Two.
I got the one. I'm like each side is connected to a stud.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Safety first, then teamwork. All right. So this pedal has a drive and modulation. The drive is probably just a
So-
cheap screamer.
So Joe Bonamassa already has a signature overdrive from Way Huge. So this is that
I
overdrive.
gotta go check on my pizza. I'll be back.
Oh my goodness.
This is Cooking with Diaz. I'm like the Julia Child of podcasting.
If only in the half an hour he was late for the podcast today, he could have cooked a pizza then.
Hey, I was busy. I'm not gone yet. I can hear you.
Yeah, so it has the WM28 overdrive in it, which is a sauced up version of the Green Rhino overdrive with punchier mids.
So a 2-screamer. Nice.
Yep. And then it's got part of a Blue Hippo chorus as the modulation section, which, I mean, it's been well known that Bonamassa has an always on good chorus that's like really subtle for like some of his amps, and then he runs like a dry. So I mean, this just simplifies his rig. It's called Penny Saver Royale because Diaz never says what things are.
I did say what it was. Thank you.
I don't know. It took us like 4 hours to get started on talking about this.
Well, you know what? Listen, the pizza looks delicious.
Did you ever get your pizza, by the way?
I just took it out of the oven. I told you I was I'm in my dining room. It's like 10 steps away. It looks delicious, by the way, in case anyone was concerned.
Do you do Jack's or Tombstone?
No, I did Aldi brand.
Oh, are those good?
Yeah, I mean they're good and they're cheap as hell. Like a big 16-inch pie is like $7.
That's not bad.
No,
I've been eating DiGiorno ones all through quarantine, and so I'm getting a little tired of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to go cheap for a while.
Yeah.
So
okay. Did we say how much this was? It's $300.
Oh, fuck you, Joe Bonamassa.
Which you can buy the WM28 for 170. You can buy the Blue Rhino or the Blue Hippo for 150. So you're saving $20 by combining them together and stripping features off of them. So
can we make that episode title? F you, Joe Bonamassa. I'd listen to that. All right. Oh. This next thing makes me feel things.
Tell us more.
Dean unleashes new Vengeance and Zero electric guitar models for 2021. So pretty much now that Dave Mustaine's gone, they just got to take his name off of it and say, yeah, that's what this is.
Yep.
I mean, that's really
of the
that's
Dean
not true at all.
But this is actually one of the more decent Dean headstock designs.
I honestly, I don't have big issues with Dean headstocks. Dean is one of the few brands that does headstocks very well, in my opinion. Like even the Dean Hardtails, I had a Dean Hardtail and absolutely loved that guitar, and the headstock on that looked great too. It looked like a little bit of a warped PRS one, but I mean, it looked fantastic. Oh wait, the Dean, no, that's BC Rich. That sucks. I don't know.
Dean has some pretty atrocious headstocks, dude.
Which one? I'll look it up.
They're V's. They have the dime bag headstock on like everything.
Oh yeah, those are pretty bad. Those are just too big. If they're a little bit smaller.
Their Nash Vegas series ones are ugly.
Okay, whatever. Fine. These look good. I was trying to help you out, Dean. Let's see, Dean Nash Vegas. Let me look at that. Gosh dang, Guitar Center website. Hurry up.
Yeah, there's some.
I don't hate those. I don't like the logo. The headstock design doesn't bother me.
The logo headstock is huge on those.
No, it doesn't look bad. I think that I like it.
Anyway,
I don't like the logo on some of them.
All right, so we've got like almost like a Randy Rhoads style V design, and we've got let's call it a slim down Explorer shape with the Zero.
Yeah.
So do we see a price on these?
They're Dean, so
not yet.
So we got like flame tops, glow in the dark side dots, Fishman Fluence pickups, stainless steel frets.
700, 800.
Seriously?
Maybe. You're listing a lot of pretty premium things, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's why when you said 700, I was like, really?
Oh, you think it's too low?
That's way too low. Usually stainless steel frets is like a $200 premium on just normal guitars.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's look at Dean
Still not
Vengeance.
seeing a price on this. I might even on like the Dean website.
Yeah, it's saying to be determined. So
TBD. I'm guessing this is going to be in the
I
$2,000
can't
range.
afford. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Never mind.
Fishman Fluences, all that. I mean, it depends where they're made. Which if these are US made, I mean, yeah. It's part of the Select series. What are normal Select series ones cost?
About $850.
Seriously?
There's a Dean V Select guitar, classic black, $850.
So
yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
So maybe this is going after like the Charvel, like San Dimas kind of range in pricing, where they'll be Far Eastern made with premium features.
Yeah, like the Schecter area too.
A little higher than the Schecter range.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, that's pretty cool. We already kind of mentioned that, so we'll touch on it again. So we talked about the string company revealed the existence of an SE model, Silver Sky. I think we kind of talked about it enough. No one knows anything except for there was a box that said there was a Silver Sky that was made in the Court factory.
Yep, which is where the other SEs are made.
Right.
And then the other interesting part is someone trying to interpret some of the stats on it implies that it could be a
7.5
8.25 radius instead of the 7.25, which is what everyone gets really mad at the SE or about the Silver Sky about, is how the radius on it. So which honestly I've played one and I didn't even notice.
You know how people get, they look at stats and they just I don't know. I mean, you can tell a lot from stats, but you can't get a feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, bear in mind, I play nowadays the guitars. I'm leaning more and more towards a flatter radius guitar, and I'm like the SE so the Silver Sky does not scare me off. So
yeah. Nothing. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong. It seems like flat radius. A lot of people use that to play faster as well. You know what I mean? Like
I think they're just easier to set up personally, but that's I don't know. I mean, Gibson's been running a 12-inch radius for ages, and so when like PRS and a few of the other the more modern like 10-inch radius seems to be where people are kind of settling. Like you'll see like a compound radius go from like 10 to 16 or something like that. So it'll get ultra flat up in the high end, which is really just allowing you to have a little more clearance for strings. That's really what it is. Let's have lower action. I don't know. My Titan I think is a 10. Maybe it's a 12-inch. It's a flatter radius. My PRS is a flatter radius than that, but I don't know. Bring it on. I think an SE Silver Sky will be a very, very interesting thing in the market.
As long as they don't have the big SE on the headstock, I might get one.
I think the truss rod cover would be an ideal spot for it.
Yeah, and that way you can change the truss rod cover, and no one will know.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to think about there is like everyone gets real mad if the SEs have birds on them.
That's stupid. Well, every PRS should have birds on it, period.
Yeah, I mean, but there was a period of time where they only did the birds on the high-end models, and so it was an indication of like you had the fancy one.
You wanted to be elite.
Yeah. And then I guess the other question is, because the Silver Sky has all kind of PRS designed hardware, like they designed their own, I mean, I say they designed, but they refined and they figured out their own bridge, everything like that. And so I kind of wonder what hardware will be like on an affordable Silver Sky. Will it be the same hardware? Will it be cheap versions of the hardware? Will they have the same pickups? You know, those kind of things I'm kind of curious about, because like the SE line doesn't have the USA pickups. They have like similar branding. It's like it'll be the pickup name and then it'll be -S or whatever for a licensed version. So curious what that all turns out to be.
I don't know, Bobby. All right. Speaking of not knowing what the hell's going on.
Oh, you finally saw it.
Oh no, I've been staring at it, slightly confused for a minute. What the hell is this?
What is it, DS?
It looks like
Brand name. This is where you say what the brand name is. I was setting you up.
you're like, you want me to say this, so I sound like I'm dumb, but Aminimals.
A minimal?
A minimal? Aminimals?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
I read it as like Aminimal, like a kid doesn't know.
That's how I was starting to read it too. It's like, wait, that actually sounds
But
right.
minimal.
is it just A with minimal on it? Is that the proper spelling of minimal?
Or is it supposed to, or is it they let a 4-year-old trying to say animal name the thing?
Don't know.
Well, turns out you see like a 5-year-old walk out during the press conference. You're like, oh damn, Diaz was right.
No, that's the correct spelling.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a weird guitar pick that
It's multiple weird guitar picks.
Yeah.
I don't, if you break off a layer, do you just have a smaller guitar pick now?
Yes.
Is it like pick your own size, like pick your own adventure for guitar picks?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you
Oh my
peel
god,
them
literally.
off?
Oh my
as,
god.
like-
Holy shit. Great idea. Pick your own size, and it's a pun because it's a guitar pick. Oh my gosh.
Trademark
It's-
that.
Oi.
Yeah, hashtag trademark, registered. Hold on, I gotta mail something to myself.
Yeah, we're gonna mail this to ourselves.
Yeah, the way it's stamped by the government. Okay, but for real, that is a great idea. Pick your own size guitar picks. You can just pop off a piece. Okay. All right, so it's described as functional art. Which I don't know.
It just looks like is this novelty or is this actual function?
Okay, it's novelty because it literally has a hole already in it for you to put on a necklace.
Yeah.
Good point.
And then I don't know how much some of these would actually hold up to use.
No,
Also-
they're gonna break off.
Well, they're made of
If not
brass.
break, they're gonna bend.
It looks like, there's that little like tip right there. It looks like just outlines of penises. That's all I'm saying. No, that's just where the strings in that picture kind of weird. I've been staring at this thing for like 10 minutes. I'm seeing things. Okay.
So they've actually got a few different designs. This is either this is brass picks that are like just basically lines. They're not solid objects anymore. And so there's all these
now I
different
see
like
them more.
designs and things like that. And so my first question is this cast? Is this cut? Or is this like, can you 3D print brass? I don't know if you can do that or not.
I don't know. That's honestly my first thought was 3D printer.
Because a lot of the stuff looks like the things that people will be like, look, I 3D printed this and look at how ornate this design is.
I'm really surprised at how much these cost. It's not a horrible. It's a 5-pack is $23.
Yeah. Well,
That's
not bad.
Then they have
That's
to be,
like
they have to be
reasonable.
cast.
But like honestly, if they didn't have the hole in the top, I'd say that these might be actual like legitimate design. Think about how many guitar players who are famous use coins and other material besides plectrum and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this still just screams this is what your aunt buys you for Christmas because they heard you like guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it looks like they could be earrings, like something like that, but still,
Yeah, or a Christmas tree ornament.
There's a lot of guitar players that have earrings, so why not? Go for it. I've got a hole for an earring still. I can put an earring in there, wear it.
Do it.
I'm doing it right now. Ordered.
Wait,
I'm not really ordering. I was just
I was
hitting
going to say,
my
did
computer.
Diaz just impulsively buy something on air? That's my move.
You're like, how dare you steal my square? If anyone's still playing the effects loop. Yeah. All right. Was that the last thing on the list?
That was the last thing on the list.
Oh my gosh. So topics. This was submitted to us from a Patreon supporter. It says general topic for the show. If you guys are ever looking for one, Ben, listen, we beg for him all the time. Okay. Why do most players own a disproportionately large number of drive pedals as compared to modulation time-based effects?
Because I want them.
Well, okay, I'll explain. I have a legitimate answer. Number one, on average, drive pedals are cheaper.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Less component. I mean, if there's less components, they're easy. I mean, it's just the way it is. They're just cheaper. Number two, drive pedals are easier to change in your setup and swap in and out. Now, like if you have a sound that you're going for and you have a delay pedal, it's definitely, in my opinion, delay is a lot harder for me to swap out and still sound, how I have it in my head than if I was just swap out a drive and just, tune in a drive really quick,
Mhm.
That's what I really say. And honestly, the fact that they're cheaper is probably the basis of it, because that's why a lot of people put out a ton of drive pedals, is because I can have 5 Keeley drives, but having like 5 Keeley modulation pedals is, I don't know, it would be more expensive. And drives are so many different mods and slightly different things that people do to it. And I feel like also for a builder standpoint, modding and changing modulation effects is not as easy as modding and changing overdrive and distortion and fuzz.
So I would say volume matching is actually more difficult with drives, of just kind of like swapping in your drive and then you got to figure out like your whole gain stack again.
Oh yeah, that's
But
fair.
they also dial in really quickly, because I'll put it this way: the reason I think we swap out our drives all the time and not modulation is because the modulation market has allowed us to have one pedal that does a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we'll have presets, we'll just be comfortable just bending over and changing the settings on it. So you're like, I want a long delay, I want a short delay, I want a really in-depth chorus, I want a subtle chorus, whatever it is. Drives for a lot of us tend to just be one setting and you're done with it. You just dial it into where like you like it, and that's its flavor, and you're done.
Oh, well, I would say this as well. While modulation changes your tone and your overall sound, your drive pedals typically are your overall sound. It covers a lot more of a basis, while you might only have delay on for certain parts of songs, or have a phaser or whatever. I think reverb is one of the ones that is closer to always on. Your drive pedals, a lot of people use them always on, so more people are willing to change out the bass of their they're not the bass of their tone, but like what you hear the most of them. Does that make any sense at all?
Maybe
bit,
on playback, it might.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
I mean, what you're saying is your drive pedal is your core tone, and people want
Core
to swap
tone.
that out once in a while.
Right. And also I would say, because it's your core tone and you hear it the most, that's also probably the thing that you're like, oh, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound how I remember it sounding, because everyone gets that, where they're like, that's like people who have their settings like taped and everything. I'm like, man, I change my drive settings way too much. Depending on the room and depending on just what I'm feeling at the time.
I found since I went to a modeler, I'm not tweaking my drives as much as I used to, just because like it's more consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
That's why you got to put your batteries in the freezer. I only play my fuzz face pedal if the room is sitting at 14 degrees Celsius. I don't know how much that is in American, but
Okay. So in recap, they're cheaper. Drive pedals are cheaper.
yeah.
They're different flavors for different days. They're kind of a one set. They're one trick ponies,
Right.
and so they don't do as much as a lot of our more modulation, delay, reverb pedals, and presets. Because we were joking about this. What was it? A week or two ago, there was the MIDI controllable $400 overdrive, and Diaz, you were like, no. Like you just had this reaction to it. You're like, no, I don't want that, because you didn't want. In your head, you believe an overdrive only has one good setting.
Yeah.
And so not having... You didn't think you could actually get multiple presets out of a drive pedal and be happy with it. And then B, you didn't want presets and all to change all these different kind of tones. So it just wasn't clicking with you. And then $400 or whatever it costs, you're like, no. I mean, that lines up exactly like we have not had the big sky of overdrive pedals.
People have tried to make it and it just never sticks.
There's been a few.
Yeah, it never sticks. MIDI overdrive does not stick.
Even when it's all analog, people still don't.
Look, the brother. I mean, you got the brothers, and then you've got Source Audio has done it with the LA Lady and other pedals like that, and then you've got the Scarlet Overdrive from Sela Effects, or the V3 was MIDI. And then you've got like a bunch of different things, and it just never sticks with the Boss OD 200 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that currently, but does that maybe stem from the stigma that like whenever you hear people talk about Line 6 devices, they're always like, oh yeah, you can use it for modulation, but keep your drives? Like, is that just because there's a stigma behind full computer?
I think it's
drives?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's okay. So I've got the Jackson Audio Golden Boy, and it's a fantastic overdrive. I absolutely love it. But one of the things is my friend Andrew said that people tell me it sounds too digital. I was like, just play it. I was like, because I don't think it sounds real digital. And he played it. I was like, does that sound too digital? He said, no, not at all. The Riverside, this from Strymon, the Sunset from Strymon, all of these pedals that use any sort of digital part, component, or anything, control, people automatically put it off. But I think that's it's the same stigma going back to tubes or solid state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, can you tell the difference? Possibly. There's a chance.
Yeah, tubes humming like crazy when it's nothing's being played.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but like it's just one of those things where, you know, that's the way it's always going to be. And I think that's the thing with drives is people are always going to be, it's got to be an analog drive, you know, it's got to do this.
Yeah, because that was my first initial thought, was that like a lot of us have like Line 6 stomps or timelines and stuff, and it's like that covers everything, but nobody wants to go out and buy the OD200.
Look at the DL4, the MM4, and all of those in the 4 series for Line 6, and then they had the distortion one.
Yeah,
and it went nowhere. But honestly, it's
they even had an amp sim, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's just how people are. They're stupid.
Well, what's funny, Josh Scott
I'm one of those people too.
On the JHS show, he pulled one out at one point. It was like, this thing actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
but I've seen that too with like people still having like HX stomps, and the full Helix does sound good with its drives in it and things like that. They're not that bad. Mm-hmm. And when I say they're not that bad, I mean like they're actually pretty good, and they're better than a lot of people as analog setups. But there's still just this insistence that like, you're like, I need to have drive pedals, you know, that are analog. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm a guy who has a Kemper and still uses a floorboard because I'm like, I still want
that
my
was
drives.
Me.
Yeah. So
well, the thing is too is just there's something about twisting the knobs on an analog drive where it's like you can feel that response.
You can just dial it in so quickly too. I mean, part of it might just be we're trained.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to say, hey, we're competent, because we're all pretty incompetent.
No, we're monkeys with bananas.
But there's just that thing of like, I can do this quickly, and I have confidence in myself in doing it.
Yeah, you give me a drive pedal, if you hand me a drive pedal, and I can guarantee you in 1 minute I will find a usable tone, if not what I consider the best tone out of that pedal.
And you're done tweaking it at that point for like you're never
I think
moving it extreme. You're
right.
always just subtly just like, I just want to hint more this or this, or you know.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's much easier to do with that than diving through menus.
Well, I mean, it's really simple with you know, with your analog pedals. You put everything. I start a pedal. I put it at noon. I go to volume. Well, I usually try to do volume towards the end to get to unity. But the first thing I do is I have everything at noon. I dial the tone right about where I like it. Most tone knobs for me sit about 1 or 2 o'clock. I like a little bit towards the high end, and then I do my drive. I'm less than where at the middle, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to the right. I'm probably going to sit about 8, 9 o'clock. Well, maybe 9, 10 o'clock. I love pushing gain in these pedals, especially analog pedals. For some reason, they sound better with the gain pumped up. And then I'm checking volume. I'm getting to unity. If there's another control, that one I'll just move a little bit, kind of land it where it sounds good, and I'm off to the races.
Yep.
Because 9 times out of 10, that fourth knob's like a weird, like kind of contour or just a bass knob. So if it's a bass knob, it's getting turned down.
Oh, my favorite's when it's a clean treble blend.
Yeah. That's really easy because like no matter
pedal,
what,
Kalamazoo had that, and that was really the joy of that pedal. That makes it really cool. Rest in peace, love pedal. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in R.I.P. in peace.
Yep.
All right. On that depressing note, thanks for joining us. You can join our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/effectsloop. You can follow us on Instagram at the FX Loop. Find our YouTube because we lost it. Email us at thefxloop@gmail.com. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/thefxloop. You get to be in a cool chat with us. If you're ever in Knoxville, you can come crash in my spare room, I guess. Or if I need a place to live, you can let me crash with you. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Well, we have a new tier of our Patreon, new feature benefit. That if you sign up for it, I will harass you a couple times a week about working out. Chris is currently on it.
Yeah. He doesn't even have to pay for it. He's the trial.
Oh no, Chris is paying for it.
Oh yeah. In
emotional way.
Yeah. That's it. I would not suggest joining that level of Patreon. And thank you, Stream Joy, for sponsoring this episode, and thank you for keeping your mouth shut. For not releasing.
Thanks for not talking about that thing. Thank you.
Thanks for not spoiling the stuff for us. But go check out Stringjoy, stringjoy.com. Sound better, play butter, because you're gonna be playing like butter. Yeah, that's kind of fun. All right.
Thanks.
So for the Effects Loop, I'm Tiaz.
I'm Chris.
I'm Scott.
And we sound really confused and scared. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
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 Adios.
strong. We have to just keep pushing along. We are one. So let's come together, show 'em some love. There are many things that this world needs, but the most important one is unity. United we stand, divided we fall. Through the ages this has been the servo song. Yeah. We are strong. We have to just keep pushing along. We are one. So let's come together, show some love. This song is not about race or politics, but the hate that resides in the hearts of men. Desperate times call in desperate measures. So why don't we be desperate to love each other?
Let's erase hate from the dictionary. Why is negativity always drawn out? Pictionary, visualize love, energize lives together. We undefeated. A plan to make weathers, no gloves needed. When we weed into the mindset of achieving and believing in community that remains happy. Then the after, the world should be one. Hate annihilated, every heart is one. Love again. So
Don't buy